Hi, I'm Lucas Mack, and I'm on a mission to see the hurting get healed and the healed go out and heal others, in order for all of us to experience the true love and light we desire. This podcast is me sharing my journey with you, so you don't feel alone in your journey. Welcome to the Golden Rule Revolution. Hi everyone, I'm Lucas Mack, and welcome to another episode of the Golden Rule Revolution. It's such a pleasure having you join. I just got done with an incredibly powerful session with the energetic alchemist, Crystal, and it was so beautiful and it was so powerful. And if you have not yet followed her on Instagram or on YouTube or Twitter, all the channels that she's on, please do so. Please follow this beautiful light. She's incredible. And so this episode, it's just me sharing me with you. I don't really have an agenda other than, actually, I don't have an agenda. But I do want to talk about love and light as in the context of leaving the 2020 year. In 2020, it's easy to condense 2020 with the political season or the COVID season or whatever season, this narrative that comes into the headline. But 2020 has been a full 12-month year, as all years are, and has been filled with so many growth opportunities. For me specifically, I was confronted with my fear of being hunted down and killed on March 12th of 2020. And I went on a hike and I had to really get clear on, I did not come here to die. I came here to live. But that was one of the deepest, darkest fears that I carried with me. The contact tracing and the Nazi Germany and the Gestapo narrative and people turning on their neighbors and neighbors turning each other in and people wearing masks. And if you don't wear a mask, you're ostracized, and police enforcing all these laws. And where were people standing up and saying, wait a minute, when did we become afraid of being sick? And when did we stop honoring our body as this super being that it is, to fight not only sickness off, but to build an incredible immune system? And when did we forget humanity that pioneered across the West and went over the Rocky Mountains and went in wagons and forged log homes and built and mined and farmed and forged and all these different things? When did we forget this? This was part of my 2020 journey, was seeing myself, seeing humanity, seeing my greatest fears, and seeing my greatest joys, my greatest love. I've grown so much in 2020. I know you have grown as well. 2020, no one's leaving 2020 the same. That is for sure. No one is leaving 2020 the same. But what are we going to bring into 2021? Are we going to allow the same 2020 narrative, the same fears, the same worries, anxieties, stresses, limiting belief structures, submitting to the news as the new preacher narrative? What am I thinking of? There's pulpit. Yeah. The news as the pulpit orators to tell you whether you will go to heaven or go to hell, whether you will keep people safe or you're causing people to get sick, or you need to submit and stay in, or you need to. When did human beings, sovereign, fully able to integrate love and light in our body from our crown chakra all the way down to our root chakra, which is something I'm working on, is my solar plex and my root chakra, to allow the love and the light to go from my heart down to the solar plex, down to the root. But when did we stop living to the fullness of what we're capable of? When did we become so afraid? I have been afraid, real fear. I grew up in fear. And I've seen what fear can do to people. I've seen what fear has done to me personally. But I also believe I did not come, and I know, and I believe that I did not come to this earth for this time to submit to fear. I came to this earth in this time to know and believe that no fear shall have rule over me, that I am love, I am light. And fear must vanquish in my presence. Darkness must vanquish in my presence, because I am the light and the love that I have always sought after. And so are you. The word kind is it's a tricky word. It's a tricky word. Because if kind is such a relative word, there's really little objectivity with kindness. There's intention with kindness. For instance, if you were drowning in the river and I grabbed you as hard as I could and maybe pulled your arm out of your socket, but I kept you from drowning, I might not have done it kindly. I might have done it aggressively and possibly violently to save your life. And my intention was that it was kind. Your receiving of my action may not be that was kind. But when society is based off kindness and niceness, as opposed to life, love, liberty, truth, freedom, sovereignty, honesty, transparency, authenticity, but we keep it in this nice, kind, contrived living, that's not living. Are you living is the question. And there's certain people, it's interesting, I have while I'm talking right now that are in my mind, I can see. And it's not that I'm talking to them, I'm talking to me, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to us. But are you living? Or are you going to continue in existence of the system, the matrix, which is disintegrating before our very eyes, and play the nice, kind, politically correct, contrived game? Where is your line in the sand? Do you have one? How much more could they take from you until you say, whoa, too much? Can they come into your house? Can they come into your children's room? At what point do you say no more? Do you ever say no more? Are you even too afraid to speak the words no? Sadly, for many, they are. For you, may that never be so. May you have the courage, the fortitude, and the chutzpah to say no more. You see, when we understand that we're the light, all we have to do is shine the light. The light has to tell the darkness no, or the light never shines. You have to come to the place to say no, or you'll never shine. Because darkness is not a counterforce to light. Darkness exists in the absence of light. Fear is not a counterforce to love. Fear exists in the absence of love. So what the pulpit narrative media industrial complex has created as kindness and niceness as love could not be further from the truth, because kindness and niceness constrict. But raw honesty, raw authenticity, to stand in one's power, is the most loving thing you could do for yourself and the most loving thing you can do for another, because you're showing the other person what is possible. Without contrast, how can we know? That's why the 3D world, I don't curse it, I bless the 3D world, because it has allowed the contrast so that we may know, so that you may know, that I may know, that we may know what is good, what is true, what is pure, what is acceptable, what is freedom enabling versus freedom disabling. Therefore, we are left in this very moment to examine our own ways of being, our own thoughts, our own power structure. And we have only a few days left until we step into 2021. But my message for you today is that you do not take one iota, one step, one even inch into 2021 without first conquering your fear. Look at it, grit your teeth, muster up the strength, and speak. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Therefore, you have to get it out of your mouth if you want it to get out of your heart. Let me say that again. You have to get it out of your mouth if you want to get it out of your heart. Therefore, as we move into 2021, face your fears and take not one step into 2021 with an iota of fear left inside you. Be free in 2021. Sovereignty in 2021. Whether you lived one day in 2021, but you lived free, it would be better than living all days in 2021 constricted, controlled, not being the fullness of you. And perhaps there have been many who have come to this existence and have yet to learn that lesson. It's the movie Braveheart, where he says, all men die, but not all men truly live. Are you truly living? Take away all the money, the house, the cars, the materialist possessions that we are surrounded with. Are you living? Are you viscerally and exhilaratingly living? Only you can answer that question. I can't answer it for you, but I know for me and my household, we will live. We will live. No fear, just love and light. And if you hear the words that I'm speaking and find judgment in what I'm speaking, my encouragement to you is to look in and see what is in you that you're unwilling to let go of. How much longer are you going to hold on to that fear, that judgment, the control, the limiting beliefs? How much longer? Because what I'm sharing is for your highest good, your highest freedom, your highest sovereignty. Therefore, may we all come into this place, the ascended life, in love and kindness, for truth, for transparency, for authenticity, for love. The kind thing is to enable freedom for all. Love, joy, peace, goodness, gentleness, faith, temperance, meekness. Against such there is no law. There's nothing to indict those 9 virtues. And the highest virtue, the first virtue, is love. So 2021, step into it with the fullness of your being. And I will as well. And together we will create the new earth, unlike any mind could even fathom. It is beyond what the mind can fathom. It is so beautiful. I know it to be so. I'm blessed to have you on this journey with me. I honor you. I love you. I love you. I bless you all. I'm Lucas Mack, and I'll talk to you on the next episode. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for listening. For support in your journey, go to my website, lucasmack.com.